Hey guys, welcome back for another video. It's me, Winchwood. Today we are starting on case 49, all the king's horses. That's right guys, only 3 more cases to the end of this district. So yeah, let's get straight into it. I just got back from my cousin's graduation. You guys remember Carly, right? So yeah, well, not her graduation, but her graduation party. And we had Treyon's graduation the week prior. So yeah, you know, a lot of graduations in the month of May, so yeah, which is the time I'm recording this, by the way. Let's get right into this. It feels so good to be back, Will, and I'm glad you could make it to the mayor's speech. Thanks to your fame, we can crash all the fanciest parties here in Maple Heights. Did you know a real king has come to Greensboro and we're about to meet him? Isn't that great? Shh, how many times do I have to tell you to remain silent when the mayor delivers his speech? My fellow citizens, I am standing right before you today, humbled and honored to express my friendship with King Khaled, Ben Omar Suleiman. May our country preserve a peaceful and long-standing relationship it has towards the sovereign state of Sultanistan. Boring. When will this thing be over? I want some candy. Have you spotted this kid, Will? He's the son of the king. He'll be the king himself when his father dies. I heard he already owns 40 collectible cars and has a live giraffe as a pet. Jones, in your position, you should know better than to listen to rumors. So please give a warm welcome to my friend King Khaled. King Khaled? Where is he? Please stay put. Ladies and gentlemen, King Khaled should arrive in a minute. No, King Khaled is dead. Something's fishy here, Major Will. Take Jones with you and find out what's happening. The king was last seen at the horse riding league. Well, we've been looking everywhere and it seems the king cannot be found. Wait, what's that noise? It came from the stables right there. Come on, Will, let's go. Oh no, Will, King Khaled Suleiman's dead. Someone killed the king. This is horrible. The chief will have our heads on a platter when he hears about this. We need to find who killed King Khaled, Will. Thank goodness you're the best at gathering clues. That bloody footprint you found can only have been left by the killer. Let's run it through our database. There's blood on that horseshoe too. Something seems off about it. You're right, but I can't put my finger on what. Maybe we should send it to the lab. And what about this torn photograph? Maybe it was dropped by the killer. The only thing to do is to unpuzzle it. Major Will, what happened? Oh my goodness. No, the king. He's dead. I'm doomed. The campaign, my career, my life. Done. Finished. Kaput. I'm terribly sorry, but I must leave. I had to deal with the press and young Muhammad. Somebody has to tell the kid his father has just died. Goodness, why is this all happening to me? Same for us, Will. The first person we need to speak is to young Muhammad. Keep in mind that he is now the king of Sultanistan. We must handle him with care. Hello, Muhammad. My name is David Jones, and this is Major Will. We're here to ask you a few questions. It won't take long, and you don't have to answer all of them if you don't want to. Do you understand? I am the king now, and that's your highness to you. I'll be an even greater king than my daddy was, the greatest king of all Arabia. I mean, the greatest in the world. And what will be your first decision as the king, your highness? I will have a bunny bot park built only for me, and it will be twice bigger than the real one, and it will have the 3D Space Pirates attraction and a chocolate fountain. Now I must attend to a conference call with your president. So get out of my room. Even ever heard of protocol dumbos? Scram. That king has gone insane. It seems he doesn't really grasp that his father has just died and he just kicked us out of his room for sanity's sake. On the other hand, now he's gone. Maybe we should have a look at his hotel room. It could give us some info on his father. What the? Of course. It is secured with an electric lock. But I'm pretty sure unlocking it will be a mere trifle to you. Am I not right? It's the beekeeper guy. Way to go, Will. The photograph you found in the stables is a picture of King Khaled, and he's with someone else. Wait, it's Archibald Ashworth. I'm sure you remember that loony beekeeper. We met him when his grandson was killed, so he was friends with our victim. You're right, we must go and talk to him. Let's just hope he's in a chatty mood. Let me guess, we're gonna find out that these are horseshoes. It's like you cannot fail these things, Will. You found the right pattern. The shoe print you noticed in the stables was left by horse riding boots. Yeah, basically I was right. That shoe print was covered in blood and the king wasn't wearing boots, so thanks to you, we now know that the killer wears riding boots. What? Oh my god. Great job, Will. You unlocked the door to the young Muhammad's hotel room. Now we can get to know the Suleimans a bit more. Let's have a look at it. We had to do that just to get into another crime scene. Mr. Ashworth, we're here to inform you the murder of Khaled Ben Omar Suleiman. We have reasons to believe you were friends with him, is that right? Oh really? Someone got rid of this unsufferable slubber Okay, that's not really the reaction we expected from you. You look so friendly on that photo. That was before he went into the oil business and became the greatest threat to every honeybee in the world, including mine. I'm not sure I understand. How could he have threatened to be from another country? What? Have you heard of colony collapse disorder, you poppycock? It means the honeybees are dropping like flies because of pollution. And Suleiman Petroleum Consortium is the biggest greenhouse gas supplier on the planet, so I don't see any reason why I should mourn the death of this swine. Remember how Archibald grieved for the death of his bees more than the death of his own grandson? If he saw King Khaled as the ultimate honey bee genocider, he would have no qualm swatting him like any bothersome fly. You're right, Will. We must keep loony Archie on our radar. Amazing what they did with this bedroom. This is like a waking dream. I mean, look at the giraffe and the arcades. Oh, come on, Will. Just a few minutes. You're right. We're not here to play, are we? Hey, you found a royal decree, but what's it doing in a child's bedroom? The document must be quite old. The names on it are faded. Could you do something about it? Way to go, Will. So the royal decree you found in young Muhammad's room concerns a certain Hilda Tipton who was hired as a nanny to look after the young king. That warrants a little more digging. So what do you say we send this decree to Alex before we go any further? I can't believe I say it one day, but this is a case of death by horse. The king's skull was smashed by a horse hooves. Wait, but it can't have been an accident. Will found a footprint smudged with blood on the crime scene. The king was killed by a human being. Of course he was. I only said the horse was the murder weapon, not the killer. King Khaled was a famous horse enthusiast. He actually brought the horse who killed him as a gift for Mayor Johnson. He knew how to act around stallions. He never had frightened it. No, someone else frightened that horse so it would rear up and smash the king's skull. Someone who wanted his death to look like an accident. You really have perfect flair, Will. The horseshoe you found in the stables, the one covered in your victim's blood, it was touched by your killer. Really? Great. But how can you be so sure? Because I had also looked at the door on which Will found that horseshoe thanks to the crime scene photos. You see the shape on the door? This shows that for a long time, that horseshoe was hanging right side up, like an inverted U. But the irregular blood splatter around it shows that the horseshoe was turned around after the king was killed, and the only person to be in the stables at that time was the killer. And why did they do this? Because a horseshoe hanging right side up is considered bad luck. Whoever turned it around is deeply superstitious. So the king's killer is superstitious. Well, I'll be. Didn't they realize actually killing someone would bring them bad luck? So I've been getting into info on the Miss Tipton mentioned under the decree you found, Will. She was only 7 when she left England and arrived in Sultanistan when Khaled Suleiman had just been named king. She went to the best schools to become a high-class nanny while her family provided for her from England. More recently, she committed herself to look after Mohammed. She is responsible for his well-being, safety, and education. All this even in case of a parent loss. And she must be right here in Grimsboro, given she's in charge of that kid. Alright, well, let's go find this Hilda Tipton. You were born in England, is that correct, Hilda? How did you end up working as a nanny in Sultanistan? I was very young when I arrived in Sultanistan. Didn't know any word of the language or customs. I earned this position by working very hard. Later, I entrusted with His Highness's responsibility. It's been an honor ever since, and it will be an even greater honor to support him when he will be a king. Wait a minute, but he's the king already. Precisely. May my guidance help him face his new duties, but my assignment is to make sure King Mohammed receives a proper education. I have no say in his political decisions, whatever they can be. Not to say His Highness needs any advice on this matter, and certainly not from me. Later at the station. I don't know for you, Will, but I could really use a recap. Khaled bin Omar Suleiman, king of Sultanistan, a mogul of Suleiman Petroleum. His only son Mohammed VII is now the king of Sultanistan, and his royal nanny Hilda Tipton will look after him and teach him some manners, I hope. Inspector Will, here you are. You never believe it. Do you remember Tony Marconi? He just made a statement from his cell. Duh, Marconi, the big cheese of the Grimsboro mob, Will arrested a while ago. Yeah, that was like back in... Well, I didn't even record when that happened, but I played that case back in like August. Just hearing the name is giving me goosebumps. What about him? He wants to make a deal with you, Will. Pretends he knows stuff about the dead king. Wait, what? Inspector Will, Marconi wants to make a deal with you. Says he will tell you exactly why your victim came here in Grimsboro during the mayoral campaign. Marconi, the brain of the Italian mafia? There's no way we're going to cooperate with him, I'm afraid. I guess you're right, Will. Any tip-off on our kingly victim would be good to take. But I'm warning you, if his conditions are crazy, there's no way we'll cooperate with him. And hey, we could drop by City Hall too. After all, we still haven't spoken to the mayor. Maybe he's done dealing with the press now. Let's check it out. No sign of the mayor, but I can see you found something, Will. I'm sure you'll be able to fill it back the blanks in that document in no time at all. The page reads funds transfer with the Horse Riding League logo and the Red Party. You remember the Red Party is Howard Johnson's party, right? That sounds promising. Let's send this paper to Alex and let him sort it all out for us. Ah, my favorite 2 cops. Oh, top cops. Just in time to share my exquisite cranberry bean pasta. Fagolia? I don't care anymore. What's going on here? Is this a prison cell or a cooking class? Who did you bribe to get all this stuff, Marconi? Speak. Come on, I didn't bribe anyone. So, have you thought of my little bargain? Want to know what I know about the Arabian king's intentions? It depends. You must be having requirements, I suppose. Well, I go for simple things. Complete freedom, that's obvious. Diplomatic immunity, and a new house in Maple Heights with a jungle-themed man's cave and a grotto. Are you kidding? You had us come here to hear such nonsense? Inspector Will can find information on the king's aim on his own. You better remember that, Marconi. So you won't bargain with me? What a bummer. When you're ready to hear what I know about the king, you'll know where to find me. And something tells me you will. You seem pretty overconfident for someone bound to stay in prison for 20 years, Marconi. Aren't you afraid some thug beats your pawns eventually? I'm not, because I always have my tiny golden Eiffel Tower with me. It's my lucky charm just to keep the devil at bay. Come back to help. For him? For help? We better check the temperature in hell first. What a waste of time. I agree, Will. Let's leave Marconi alone for the moment by ignoring him. He will be the first one spilling out. The document you found lists the recent donation made by the Horse Riding League to Howard Johnson's party, the Red Party, Will. A very handsome sum, too. The mayor must have been pleased. You mean Howard Johnson received money from the Horse Riding League to finance his campaign? Is that even legal? It is. Any private association is allowed to give away their money to endorse a candidate on the campaign trail. That's what they call buying influence. No, the interesting thing is that right before they invested in the mayor campaign, the Horse Riding League received an equally handsome sum from your King Khaled. Now, call me suspicious if you want, but this really looks like the money went from the king to the mayor by way of the league, which would be perfectly illegal if it was true. So you're telling us that the king might have given money to the mayor's campaign? You're right, Will. Busy or not, Johnson will have to talk to us. And since this all seems to be tied together by the Horse Riding League, let's go have another check at the stables. What did you hoover this time, Will? This beehive? It was smashed to pieces, but what was it doing here in the first place? Something's not right. We need to give it a closer look. Sorry, I don't have much time, Inspector Will. Since Khaled has died, I must juggle the president, the Sultanistan representatives, and now you? That poor Khaled, old chap, being killed by the very horse he had brought me as a gift. It will haunt me forever. As much as I enjoy riding horses, I just can't mount the one who killed my old friend. We grieve at your loss, Mr. Mayor, but Inspector Will discovered that the Horse Riding League recently made a donation to fund your campaign, and it is true. The League is a remarkable institution that spanned many generations of our city's history. I've been riding horses there all my life. I just couldn't turn down their donation. The thing is, it seems the money actually came straight from Sultanistan, from the pocket of the king. Were you aware of that? What? I don't know what you're talking about. Well, that would be an utter shame if a candidate would be given foreign money. A Shirley would never do that. I'm afraid you're mistaken here. Now, if you excuse me, I have to call my mother about the tie I'll be wearing for election night, and it might take several hours. Well, I figured Johnson would slip away. If King Khaled did fund his campaign, Johnson will be forced out of the office. Plus, he said himself he often went to the league to ride horses, and he's often been seen around town wearing his boots. Geez, do we really have to add Johnson to our suspects list? You're right, Will. Let's keep tabs on him and stay very cautious. We better keep a lid on this for the moment. The chief will liberate us if we add more scandal to the curriculum. Nice job, Will. So someone put a firecracker inside this beehive to blow it up. How cruel. But wait, you're right. This must be what drove the king's horse mad. The noise and the sudden swarm of bees must have scared it to death. Will, you just found a key to the puzzle. Now we know exactly how the king was killed. I can't help thinking this looks like a childish prank gone wrong, don't you think? Could a young king have killed his dad by accident? No, you're right. It won't do to speculate. Let's have a closer look at the firecracker first and see if the killer left anything on it. Found something interesting on the firecracker you picked inside the beehive, Will? Well done. You isolated bits of gold and dust from the rest. That sounds promising. Let's send it to Grace for analysis. The residue you isolated from the beehive's firecracker was not part of the firework powder composition. It pertained to a hookah charcoal pratique. You know what a hookah is, right? It's an oriental water pipe used to inhale flavored vapors. Looks like your killer used one before manipulating the firecracker. Oh yes, I know what they are. I smoked from one once when I played the caterpillar at an elementary school musical. Sorry everyone. I meant our killer has a taste for smoking water pipes. That's one thing we should remember. Hey Will, you found a firecracker in a beehive, right? Beehive as in honeybees, as in you got it. Archibald Ashworth, let's go and have a chat with him. Shh, be quiet. I don't want you to startle my bees. This is pollinating season, for goodness sake. Speaking of honeybees, Mr. Ashworth, Inspector Will has determined that the horse that killed King Khaled got crazy because of bees. I would never do this to bees, nor to a horse. Wonderful creatures. Horses, I've been riding them all my life, and I just love a nice pair of horse riding boots. If there's one thing that I've learned from animals, is that I could trust them way more than my own family of greedy rascals and disturbed harridans. Now let me smoke my honey tobacco in peace. You lullabies, you're stressing out my honeybees. Later at the station. Well, Will, this investigation is getting thicker by the minute. On the other hand, it looks like the mayor and the victim may have been involved in illegal money transfers. And on the other hand, our murder weapon was triggered by bees, which puts strongly suspicious on Archibald Ashworth, who begrudged the king for polluting the planet. I don't know for you, but my head's hurting from all these discoveries. What do you say we take a quick cookies and TV break, Will? Hey look, little Muhammad speaking on the TV. Everybody listen up. I, Muhammad bin Khalid Suleiman, King of Sultanistan, demand justice for the killing of my daddy. The killer isn't caught within 24 hours, and I shut down every trade business between Sultanistan and America. Yes, you heard me, people. I closed the value. Cut. Shut down the oil trade. Did he just say that? But the country would collapse. Well, what are we going to do? And that's something to figure out in the next video, guys. Thank you guys for watching chapters 1 and 2. We're going to be back for chapter 3 and 4. I love you all. Get out.